So here's the big difference. When we see our bull run come around again, we're definitely going to see some sort of supply shock, right? And the name brand crypto out there is going to be HEX. And that is going to be one of the cryptos that a majority of people are going to go to. They're going to flock to. This next generation of crypto investors, like, we like to believe that like our generation was the smartest and most well-informed. But I assure you that every generation gets smarter and more well-informed. And there will be people who will come out of the woodwork in the next bull market that you're like, dang, okay, I'm going to start following this guy. Like, I might stream a little less and just start listening to this guy a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens with every generation. It does. And they're going to get more and more sophisticated. And they're going to see the value of HEX. They're going to see the value of the T-share. And they're going to want to have their base investment in HEX. Just like when I first started, I wanted my base investment in Bitcoin. I was like, Bitcoin, 50%.
It becomes the beta. Ethereum. It becomes the beta of your portfolio, right? Like, if you're not outperforming this asset, then like you should just be holding this asset. Like,
exactly.
That's that idea.
Like you want to be locked in, earning your daily yield, and then you can play around with this other stuff, right? With the rest of your bag. So like, it's gonna, I said it on RH Max's stream, like, it's gonna melt faces. Like, people think it's super heavy right now. Yeah, we're in a bear market, guys. We're in a bear market. Like, the hype cycle is different. Back when I was working in my traditional job and the bull market came around, and I'm working, like, talking to lots of new people every day. Like, when the average person was talking about crypto, like, that is when there's a lot of buyers, a lot. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many coins are out there. Like, they will get bought up. Like, look at Shiba. Yeah. Look what Shiba did with how many coins are out there. And Dogecoin, how many coins that come out every day. And look at the Dogecoin millionaire guy, right? Yeah. Like, it don't matter. Once the hype cycle's there, it don't matter.
It's there. Yeah. Once you get the hype cycle and like the network effect starts taking off, like, it doesn't matter what tokenomics pumpamentals you have, it's just gonna pump. And it's you're adding fuel to the fire or you're adding weight to the momentum is what the tokenomics and the pumpamentals are doing. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, this chart, we could see something very similar to what Bitcoin did leaving 2015, which is going to be a high rate of return. I'm not going to throw out any X's or anything like that, because first of all, I'm not great at price predictions, and second of all, like, refer to part 1. I'm not great at price predictions.
I have a second point, but the first one's the only one I need to say.
The first one was really all I needed to say, right? But like, when it pumps, right? And so when that comes around again, it's gonna be awesome. And it's something I say to a lot of the guys who I know on a personal level that are invested in this ecosystem, is they're like hesitant to go into HEX because they don't think it'll pump as much as other things like Hedron, Icosa, or Name Your Coin, right? In our ecosystem. And I have to refresh their memory and be like, yo, what very well could happen is when HEX starts running, people could very well sell off their derivative tokens to buy more HEX. Like, just keep that in mind. There is Hart's Law, but there is the idea that people run out of powder and they have to sacrifice something. And are they going to sacrifice the first runner when the Highest of Stakes documentary comes out and everyone's talking about HEX and he's on CNBC or you name the channel, right? And like, now the hype cycle starts and now we're talking about Pulse Chain, and dude, all this is going to start ratcheting up, and you're not going to want to be left without any HEX in your bag. Like,
100%.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be a case.
I think the dynamic is going to be similar to like Bitcoin's dynamic to the rest of crypto, right? Like, when Bitcoin runs, it kind of sucks the air out of the room, where like everyone's watching Bitcoin and nothing else is running. And in fact, things might even be bleeding a little bit because exactly what you said, they're putting their thing into Bitcoin so people don't miss that move. I think HEX is going to have that same kind of power and momentum within the Pulse Chain ecosystem and like all of its derivatives. Like, when HEX starts to run, everyone's going to turn their head and be like, oh shit, HEX is finally running. Let me not miss out on like the base level gains of the system, basically.
And look, I mean, for a new crypto person, somebody who has heard about it, they've been interested, haven't really taken the dive yet, right? And we get the next hype cycle going, and we got Pulse Chain out, right? Pulse Chain may be, for a new guy who's not in this community, who has not been in crypto, it may be one of the harder tokens to obtain, right? Because you have to have a little bit of a learning curve of how to get your funds into Pulse Chain, right?
Yeah.
So that is when the opportunity is at the highest. Like, getting Bitcoin in the early days was very difficult. It was.
Yeah,
If you didn't have the technical chops to like mine it, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't have the technical chops of like talking to people on the dark web online to obtain it, if you didn't know about Silk Road, if you didn't know about Mount Gox, like getting Bitcoin was near impossible, man.
It was just this weird thing that terrorists use that people talk about. That's basically all it was at that point, which was, funny enough, the best time to buy it.
It was the best time to buy it. And what is going to copy the best over to Pulse Chain? I think HEX is going to copy the best over. So it's like, again, like you got your HEX, you got it staked, you got your T-shares, you got your free Hedron. You can restake that for Icosa. You got the copy. It's going to have the most liquidity. Like, it just check off all the boxes. Like, you're going to want to have some of that.